Yes. For real? No. Yes, it's small. All right. Bye-bye. It's bright. It's lightweight. A lot of features. It's not a phone. It's an external monitor. The Portkeys PT6 4K HDMI monitor. That's what's up. Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, please do consider to subscribe. This is where I share my opinions in relation to gear or anything tech related, to be a specific video, sound, or anything to do with filming. So today we are looking at a very interesting external monitor that helps you look at, monitor whatever you're filming, and it's very small. That's the biggest deal of this monitor, because it's very small. It's almost size of a phone. If you look at my phone, they're almost the same size. Actually, my phone is even way bigger. So many interesting things about this monitor, because one, it's lightweight, very portable, and you have various options of powering it. I'm not going to go into details of everything that this monitor does. I could go over a few very important things, like a few of those menu highlighting key menu features that are very important. Mounting options, and a bit of the accessories that come with this monitor. So speaking of accessories that come along with this monitor, it's interesting that it comes with two HDMI cable. One is micro HDMI to HDMI, or the other one is full HDMI to full HDMI, depending on what camera you're going to be using. It has this very interesting mounting bracket, which I don't really like, but for those that are fans of the mounting bracket, you got this option, and it has a sunshade as well in case you go outdoor. Some monitors come with no sunshades, but this one is 500 nits, and with 500 nits on the inside, indoor, you cannot go wrong. But if you go outside, you're going to need the Portkeys sunshade that would help you see whatever you're filming. So without further ado, let's break it down, see how it works. So this is what it looks like with the sunshade. If you do intend to record outdoor, should be all set with this. So having a sunshade come along is huge. It's key, because that way you're able to see what you're filming in broad daylight, and this kind of cuts off the huge amount of sunshine. Of course, you'd still there's a bit of reflection, just so you know, but it's better than not having a sunshade at all. So I'm briefly going to be going through the menu system and tapping out those few features that make this monitor stand out. So let's get into the menu. So the menu, you can always customize the first button, second. You have up to 4 buttons to customize. It's contrasty, it's well calibrated, I would say. Not the best out there, but I would say it looks good. So like I said, when it comes to the function buttons, depending on whatever you assign, you can always dig deep into it and make necessary adjustments. For example, F2 is assigned to peaking, but if I want to get into details of how to adjust my peaking, I just press F2 for like 3 seconds, boom, and it brings up a sub menu. False color, if you like using false color, they have that. So the histogram looks like that, and you can always change the way it looks. So having a waveform, to me, this is a huge plus for such a monitor. If you want, you can always change it to RGB. RGB is mostly for white balance, I would say. If you do intend to make movements through the menu, the plus and minus are the up and down. The brightness is usually called the backlight. So you can always go, you can always go middle, if you are in a very dark space and you don't need that bright of a monitor, you can always go middle, or you could always go lower, middle, and high. You have those options. You can always load LUTs on this bad boy. It comes with inbuilt LUTs. That's a good thing. You see all those are inbuilt LUTs. Function setup, you can always, this is where that's where you assign the 4 function buttons depending on what option you want to have a quick access to. So that's where you find that. Firmware, you can always upgrade from there. And that's all with the menu. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the mounting options that you have for this monitor. This is a very handy mounting option. There should be a link in the description. It is actually an option to tilt and pan. You can tilt and pan with this mount here. The other option is this by Small Rig. I think there's more flexibility in this one than this one, I would say. I mean, it still goes back to how you prefer to position your monitor, you know. At least somebody has this in their toolbox or in their bag somewhere. And this one, I would say I'm not a fan. I used to be a fan, but not a fan anymore. Well, you could still shape it in any way, bend it wherever or however, or upside down or whatever. But I mean, it's just too big in my opinion. These 3 should work really well. Did I hear something click? It's plastic actually. So it's time for the Packs Possible Ask Questions. So if you are just getting to video and you need a small, portable, lightweight, affordable, under $200 monitor, this is for you. You don't have to get all the mounting options that I showed you. You can just get one of those depending on how you shoot. This is not the only Portkeys option out there. There's other various ones. They're like the BM5, which I really recommend. It's just a little too pricey. There's the LH5, which is also affordable, and tons of other Portkeys options. So alright, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for sticking around. If you like this kind of content, please share the video, like the video, comment, and please do subscribe. Thank you for watching.
Enough to see. Good for viewing if you're going to be doing focus pulling and stuff like that. You know, maybe get a brighter monitor, but it's actually still pretty bright, and inside it's really bright. So the form factor is fantastic. This thing is super thin, and obviously it doesn't have very much in the way of bezels, which makes it look really cool, but makes it pocket friendly too. So it's easy to just kind of toss in a bag. Speaking of which, they do include this hard case, which maybe I just didn't read the description, but I didn't know it came with this, and that's pretty dang awesome. So it just fits in here, toss that in your bag, and it snaps closed. It even has, if you can look a little closely, it's got gaskets in here, which means that this thing could potentially take on a little bit of moisture. One other thing I really love about this is so we have HDMI in, but we also have HDMI out, so I can pass my camera feed directly into here, but then sometimes I use wireless video transmitters, so then I can take the HDMI out into my wireless transmitter and then have this set up on another external monitor, which is huge. That's very, very cool. A few other things that I really dig about it, multiple power options. So got DC port on the bottom. The USB is for like firmware updates and stuff like that. And then on the back side, underneath the, let's loosen this. On the back side right here, so I have a Sony NPF, but if you see these little contacts right here, that's actually for a Canon LP E6 style of battery. So you can actually use different battery types in here. I can definitely see that being super handy, you know, because sometimes I have some of those charged up, or maybe the NPFs run out of juice, or whatever the case is. Yeah, so having multiple power options, very cool. Screen color is fantastic. The clarity is also really good on it. I definitely enjoy it. It's clear enough for focus pulling. Function buttons work really great, so I have a few. I have waveforms for exposure, then I've set up peaking, and then what else? False color, which you can turn on and off. So a lot of different options for monitoring footage. Big enough, bright enough, thin enough, and cheap enough. The price point is great for everything that you're getting out of this, and man, there's just a lot to cover. You know, there's so many things you can customize inside of here too, inside of the menu. So you have all these different options and some tools to help you. You can like load LUTs in here for monitoring like log footage and everything. In the package too, very cool. You get an HDMI to HDMI micro, and then you also get a full HDMI to full HDMI cable. You get, of course, the hard carry case, the sun hood. Yeah, so that's a lot of extras and really just awesome stuff. So overall, using it a few days, can't really find any downsides to this thing, given its price point. Yeah, you know, it works in the sun. It can do it if you're shooting in the sun. The sun hood, I would recommend. You know, there's definitely monitors if you shoot mostly outside and stuff like that. You might want to pick a brighter monitor, but for the price, you just can't beat this, because brighter monitors will start to run you 2 to like 3 times as much as this one does. Fantastic little panel, off-axis clarity, color, everything is great. Yeah, huge thumbs up for the Portkeys P6.
Ok, este va a ser un pequeño review del Portkeys PT6, pero primero que nada vamos a ver qué es lo que trae aparte del monitor. Viene en este case que la verdad que me gusta mucho. No todos los monitores incluyen esto, es un plástico un poquito durito y que trae foam adentro, protege bastante el monitor. Aquí vamos a encontrar lo que es el sun hood y el monitor en sí, que pues la verdad que es bien pequeño. Esto es todo lo que incluye la caja. Son 2 cables HDMI, uno que es mini HDMI y HDMI normal. Y también incluye el soporte para montarlo en tu cámara. Lo único que tienen que tener en cuenta es de que no trae baterías, así que tienen que comprar alguna Sony NPF o Canon LPE6. Yo personalmente estoy usando la Sony NPF 550, que pueden ver aquí, una batería bien pequeña y carga bastante el monitor. Y aquí pueden ver de que tiene 4 botones programables a cualquier función del monitor. Los botones de menú, de salida y los botones de volumen. Me gusta bastante que tiene una entrada y una salida de HDMI. Por si ustedes tienen algún sistema inalámbrico de monitoreo de video, pueden conectarla porque tiene una salida ahí. También monitorear su audio. La verdad que este monitor me gusta bastante, es bien pequeño, bien compacto y funciona perfectamente bien con mi GH4. Como pueden ver, la latencia o el delay que tiene el monitor es aproximadamente como de 1 segundo y algo por mucho. No es la gran cosa, sinceramente, no afecta en nada y honestamente por el precio del monitor, en mi opinión, es muy bueno, la verdad. Así que recomiendo el Portkeys P6. Claro que sí.